Or you one of them people, man, that don't know how to keep your private parts to themselves? Huh? You one of them people that like to pull it out on everybody any chance you get? Anytime a female looking at you, you think that you can just pull that thing out and go grab that hair grease and just do what you gotta do? I'm gonna let you know in this video what happened when an inmate decided to pull his thing out and start gunning the wrong female officer. Haha, Dom the best. Finna be this way till I EOS. Take it how you want, nigga. Yeah, I'm a pro. Fuck around and bust your lot while you're at Vizzo. I hate to be this way, but I live for the moment. Waking up every day, show me an opponent. Shanks on deck, hitting bitch with a lock. So much pool, I can even start you from the box. You don't wanna pay rent, got me bent. Got lax on deck, your money was well spent. Vultures on the prowl, so don't try testing. Step 2, cause violent first steps finessing. You a hold down man, suitcase this. My cell phone and my charger don't walk with a limp. Get it knocked off or missing, you gon' get it. Next time I see your ass, you gon' leave airlifted. What's up, y'all? You already know, man. Kfrogtv back in the building. Y'all go ahead and do me that solid favor. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe button. And also make sure you hit the notification bell so you can see it first. Today, I'm going to be talking about when an inmate decides to gun the wrong female officer. Okay? And I wanted to do this video because, you know, there's mad gunners out there. You know what I'm saying? On the streets, locked up, on YouTube, all that. You know what I'm saying? So I got the perfect story from when an inmate decided to gun the wrong female officer. Okay, for those that don't know what gunning is, that's when you know what I'm saying, you're choking your chicken where you shouldn't be. Okay, now, you know when you're locked up, everybody you know is out of sight, out of mind. You got a lot of shit build up, you know what I'm saying, a lot of pressure that you want to get off as much as possible. Now, you know, looking at like a flick book or watching some type of video on a cell phone, or whether they had the MPs that were, you know, cracked and they got, you know, porn and stuff put on there, and you're doing your thing, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Prison's one of them places that you're going to see people do that shit frequently. They do that stuff all the time. It's normal. You know, you're going to walk back there in the backs by the stalls and shit to use the restroom, and you might see the last 3 stalls heads bobbing like this. You already know what they doing back there. You feel me? You can't help to see it when you walk in because you got 1 toilet, 2 toilets, 3 toilets, all the way to 8. And then it's got a wall this damn big. And you know the first couple, you know, the first 2 or 3 stalls, you know what I'm saying, those are where you pee at. And then anyone after that's where you go to do number 2. So as you're walking that way, you can't help but to see the bobbleheads bobbing up and down. What you think they doing back there? Eating something? Nah, hell nah. They back there getting it in. You feel me? They doing what they have to do. Now that's normal. But then you got these people that, you know, they pull out on the female officers, you know, and I get it because some female officers are actually eaters, okay? But all of them aren't, you know. That's the thing, is people actually think all of them are eaters. There's some of them that ain't eaters, and there's some of them that will bait you up to make you think they're an eater, just so when you decide to do that movement and stick your hand down in your pants and pull that shit out, she can scream and holler and book them. Book them, Dano. Put them straight in confinement for 60 days. Okay? I've seen it happen too many times. It happens on a day-to-day basis. There's some people to where it's like a sickening. It's stuck with them. It's like they got gunning disease syndrome or something. They can't just stop doing that. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I was never a gunner, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, I did my thing, looking at porn and, you know, different stuff like that. And then on top of that, I had phones all the time, so I was able to FaceTime and see some real shit. You feel me? Not watching some other dude cram another girl all the time. I was able to have a female that I know that's doing this right now live on the IMO app or on Messenger or Snapchat for me, you know what I'm saying? But you have people that they can't stop touching themselves, so they'll look at different officers and they start thinking shit, you know what I'm saying? She might be over there in the booth eating a fucking cup of ice cream, and then, yeah, I understand she's licking that spoon kind of good, and you think she's looking at you when she's doing it. You think she twirled her tongue to the left more than she normally does, all because she made eye contact with you, and in reality, she might be baiting you up. And then the same people who think because she's eating ice cream like that will think the same as she's eating a fucking sub from Subway. She can have a big old sub in her hand, she's chowing down on them and just happen to glance at them, and they think the same thing. That's why it's so sickening as much as you see it, you know? You know, it's something that you're not going to be able to not see when you're in prison. All right, they got the gun line inside of the county jail, and they got the gun line inside of the prison down here in Florida. Okay, it ain't like you see in the movie Life, where it's the gun line where you run past that motherfucker, they pop you. It ain't that. It's the gun line. All right, when you're in the county jail down here, the main jail, and they do med call to where the nurse walks up, you see everybody run to their room to get in that little window they got on the door so they could just start stroking their chicken. You feel me? And then your ass get your meds or whatever. When you turn around and you walk back to your room, you're going to see all them heads up there on the top tier. Them boys, you in the gun line right now. You look up, you just made eye contact with a sniper. You know, they got people that, you know, hide around the corners or do it without them knowing. You know, those are called snipers. And then they got the ones that just do that shit head up, hoping they see her. And then when they start screaming, they go faster. You know, you have female officers that like it. You have female officers that don't like it. You understand? But there's a time and a place for everything, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you about this time when I was inside a D-dorm and this inmate decided, you know, he wanted to pull out on the female officer, right? Like I said, this happens all the time in prison. You'll see people going back and forth from confinement all the time. Gang members, people that are unaffiliated. It's like something that's like, there's probably more people inside the confinement than there is for hitting people with locks. Okay, and everybody knows the myth, oh, lock in a sock, you know, this and that. That happens all the time in prison. I guarantee there's more people in confinement for gunning than there is hitting somebody with a lock. You feel me? I won't say more than, you know, stabbings, which it's up there. Probably might be more than that if we were to get, you know, strategically down to the exact percentage. But I'm not going to say that because I'm not sure. But I know every single day you see people go to confinement for gunning. All right? You know what I'm saying? And people can't help it. You know, that's just how it is. It's so bad that when you're in confinement at some camps, they have rectangled magnets. So when a certain female comes on wing, like the nurse, or it might be classification, it might be a female officer or anything like that. Everyone who's in confinement for gunning, they'll normally put that rectangle magnet over the window. So they are the only ones that can't see because they know they got a habit of gunning. You understand? And people go to confinement all the time for whipping out inside the kitchen, like the chow hall, inside of the school building, inside of classification on the rec yard. Like you're out there at rec and there's people walking around with knives and people walking around ready to hurt someone, and that could possibly be you. And you mean your mind is in the gutter? You thinking with your shrimp instead of thinking with your fucking head. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you're in harm's way. You know what I'm saying? But hey, like I said, there's a time and place for everything. I just feel like a lot of places where it happens isn't the time or place. You understand? But anyways, I was in D-dorm, and this one inmate, you know, he decided to gun the female officer. Now, the way the dorm was set up is you got the officer booth like this, and then you got quad 1 on this side, quad 2 on this side. So the officer's got to look this way, and he's got to look that way. He's got to pay attention to 2 quads while he's inside the officer booth. You know what I'm saying? It's like a fish in a tank. How you're looking at the fish inside the glass, that's basically how it is. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times people will think they could just go in the shower and turn the shower on and sit there and shower one, because the officers, when they look this way, they could see the showers. When they look that way, they could see the showers in that quad. You feel me? They're supposed to be able to see you at all times. The only thing in the shower is you got 8 shower heads, and then you got like a medium wall that goes up a little bit, probably like to like your chest area. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, they can see you fully because it isn't like it's close to you. You know, it's a couple feet away from you. So, you know, that's for like when you get out of the shower and you walk up and you're getting dressed. Anybody that's brushing their teeth on the sinks on the other side of the wall, you know, when they're looking at you, they see the wall. You feel me? But when you're back under the shower head, anybody can see anything. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people will tend to go to shower 1 and go to soaping up and looking at the female officer and then go to gunning. Everyone knows when someone's gunning, you know, including the female officers. They're not new to this shit. They've been doing this shit for years. And it's common sense that you're not supposed to be showering until after 5 o'clock down here in Florida. Some institutions will allow it. Some institutions won't. But mostly, if your ass ain't working in the kitchen, if you didn't work morning shift, or if you didn't just come back from work or something, you're not allowed to take a shower. Only those people who have those jobs are allowed to take the shower, you know what I'm saying, before 5 o'clock. So it's common sense when Nobody's walking in the bathroom at all, and this one person showering, and they've been in that shower, got that shower running for a damn near hour and a half, and they're just standing there letting the water run on them, but they're looking dead ass the officer station. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's common sense. As an inmate, you know when someone's gunning. Once you see someone get in that shower and you see who it is, or you see what time it is, and you realize there ain't no traffic going in and out of the bathroom, which means no one's using the restroom right now, because everybody knows that they're gunning. Everyone knows that your ass is going to be in the gun line if you decide to cross and go in there. You feel me? I've been caught in the gun line plenty of times, because there's times, bitch, I got to go. I don't care what you got going on. You feel me? I'm finna come in, piss, do what I got to do, and clear it. You know, I'm not finna hold it for you unless you know, you my dog, or I feel like holding it. If not, if I'm in a rush and I got to go that bad, or I know I won't be able to go for another while, and I go in there, man, you going to have to do what you do. I'm finna cross your path, and I'm going to go this way, and I'm going to go ahead and piss, and I'm going to get back to what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? But, so the dude was in the shower, you know, and also on the other side of the wall from where the showers are, like when the officer looks this way and he sees the showers, there's a wall before the showers start. On the other side of that wall is where people walk in the doormat, and there's 2 phones. A lot of people will get on that phone and act like they're on the phone and look dead at the officer and start gunning. Now, it's common sense with the phones. A lot of people that get caught doing this shit, it blows my mind, because the phones don't turn on till 5 o'clock. You see, that's the thing. Everyone knows that. You'll go grab the phone, that bitch is straight dead. Like that. There is no little noise, no nothing. That bitch ain't got one sound, one peep. You could go, you don't even hear it, you know, come back in your ear, you know what I'm saying? Them shits is off. You feel me? So here it is, it's noon or 1 o'clock, and you got someone going and getting on the phone right there. And it's a female officer inside the booth. You know, it makes it where when you're walking to the restroom, you got the officer this way in the booth, and you got the little doorway right here where they are on the phones as you're entering the bathroom area where the showers are. So if someone's over there at any given time before 5 o'clock, you know they gunning. So here you're going to have to walk. You don't want to look this way, because then you're looking at the guard. You know, then if she is eating, she might, you know, which means if she is letting him do what he's doing, then she might see you make eye contact with her and feel like you might tell on her for eating, and then she's going to book that dude that's gunning on the phone. Or if you look at him, then your ass in the gun line for real. You feel me? You either make eye contact with the police, or you make eye contact with the sniper, or the person that's hitting her up head on. You see what I'm saying? That's another place where they like to do that shit a lot. But this time, he was in the shower. And, you know, he's known to do this anytime an officer comes in. You feel me? It don't matter if she's old. It don't matter if she's tall, she's fat, she got hair for a mustache. It don't matter what she looked like. That dude would get in that shower and decide, oh, all right, I'm going to knock her head off. It don't matter who it is. That's what he was doing. It was like a sickening. He couldn't shake it. You know what I'm saying? And it didn't just happen in the dorm. He'd do this shit out on the rec yard. You know what I'm saying? There could be a fire drill, and they evacuate all the dorms and throw us on the rec yard for a while. As we're all out there and shit wondering, damn, are they going to find our phones? Are they going to find all of our contraband? Are they going to find all this shit? Is it really a shakedown? Did they use this, you know, this fire drill as a decoy to get us out the dorm to where really we didn't think about hiding our shit good enough? Next thing you know, you feel me, we're out here, and then we see they're shaking down the dorm. We're like, damn, they got us. They just knocked off our phone. This other dude's over here in the cut, standing there behind a dip bar or under a pavilion over there, just stroking it, looking at a bitch way up there in the gun tower. You feel me? Or guard towers, depending on what camp you're at, if they got gun towers or guard towers. You feel me? Y'all know the difference. One's got a gun, one don't. It's self-explanatory. You feel me? But they be looking up there at them, gunning them. Like way up there, bro. Like shit, you know what I'm saying? You think she don't see you down there twitching and shit? Looks like you're twitching. She can't even see what you're holding. She just sees you twitching. She knows what you're doing though. You feel me? So that's how this dude was. So on this day, the female officer finally screamed on him. This female officer, she hit that panic button. You know, they got that button they carry on either their hip or they'll put it up here sometimes. She just went to hitting that bitch. When they hit that panic button, they gonna come in like a goon squad, and they think it's something serious. You'll see the guards running up and down the damn compound every day. Some are running because someone got stabbed. Some are running because an officer got swung on or hit with a lock, or an officer can't break up a fight. Or, you know, it depends on what it is. They hit that panic button. That means they need backup. So here comes the squad because they hit backup. Bro in there thinking it's all fine and dandy. They run in. He thinks he could just act like he was bathing now. You know, go to tricking them, you know, thinking, and they're like, cuff up, you know what time? And he's like, what do you mean I'm bathing? Turn around, got a full fucking thing on, you know what I'm saying? They cuff him and everything. Even if he tried to say he was just bathing, she's lying. You know you're not supposed to be in the shower before 5 o'clock. Do you work in the kitchen is what they start asking him. Do you work in the kitchen? He's like, no, I don't work in the kitchen. You feel me? Common sense, you ask what's in the shower, gunning. That's why there's normally more than one guard inside of the officer station. You might have an officer and then you got their TA, you know what I'm saying? Which is like their newbie, the ones that they're training, or the one that's trying to become an officer, you know what I'm saying? Before they start making their way up the rank into sergeant, you know what I'm saying? And lieutenant and stuff like that. So he goes to confinement, right? So when he goes to confinement and everything, you know, everybody just thinks, oh, that ain't nothing, you feel me? People get caught gunning all the time, you know, that shit. You see it happen all the time. All the time. You could be chilling with somebody one day for fucking 5 weeks straight, fine and dandy. Next thing you know, they take it to confinement, and the first thing they scream, man, that whole lying, man. That whole lying, man. I wasn't gunning her, bro. I wasn't gunning. It happened so much to where, you know, 9 times out of 10, they were gunning her. You know what I'm saying? And the hard part and the bad thing about this whole situation was that female officer that he decided to gun, her son was an officer inside of confinement. So now that he got caught gunning her, it's time for him to get brought to confinement. They beat the shit out of him, bro. They mocked him. They mollywopped him. Literally. And I know this because one of my closest dogs was in confinement at the time. And I used to slide back there. Like I used to violate and go back there to see my dog, you know, bringing some batteries for his phone or some canteen, some food and shit like that. And the same officer whose mom it was, everybody knew that was their mom. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knew. They had the same last name. They came to work together. Everyone knew, you know, he'd come there and eat lunch in the dorm with his mom. And, you know, they'd always be together. And, you know, it wasn't like a secret. You know, everyone knew. She would say, oh, okay, don't make me go get my son. And all that stuff. Like, everyone knew they were related. And it was the fact that they placed that man as the officer inside of confinement. So I'd see him all the time. And if I wanted to go back there and see my dog that was in confinement, you know, they could take me, you know, to confinement and place me in confinement if I get caught going back there trying to violate into a confinement quad. You feel me? But that guard himself would literally just charge me like a honey bun or a bag of Cheetos. When I bring a bag of canteen, he'd literally dig through it and grab an item and let me in. He'd be like, you got 5 minutes. He would charge me a canteen item and I'd go back there and slide and see my dog and shit like that. So my same homeboy who was back there at the time, you feel me, which is doing life in prison right now, you feel me? He ain't never got out yet. But that same homeboy right there was back there at the time. So he was telling me the last time I came, he's like, bro, they beat the hell out of that man, bro, for like 3 hours straight. I said, for real? They're like, man, so bad to where they had to send him to outside infirmary. Now, who knows what they put on the paperwork? Who knows what they said, what happened? You know, they probably put he hit an officer. He physically harmed a female officer. They jumped on him, protecting their female guard, or whatever it may be. But it just shows he picked the wrong one. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, they did him that bad? And he was like, hell yeah. He's like, bro was unconscious in the shower in handcuffs. They had him in handcuffs, and they stomped that boy. Stomped him, beat him, boom, 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 boom. Not just the son of the female guard, but his buddies too, the other guards that work confinement. You know, they're going to stick together. Just like inmates stick together, the guards stick together. You see, so basically he pulled his shit out on the wrong female officer. You know what I'm saying? And as much as he thought she was an eater, you know, maybe she was at first and she had a change of heart. Or maybe she was just doing her job and your mind was playing tricks on you and made you think she was a eater. In all reality, she wasn't with that shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, the thing is when he was back there and they did all this to him, they stomped him and all. Once he went to like outside medical, after they brought him to the infirmary, went to outside medical, they transferred him. I never seen him again. So this dude got a petty little 60-day DR, which, you know, 60 days in the box ain't shit. You know, people could do that on their head, doing that on a headstand in the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like, that ain't really nothing at all. Especially when you done did long stretches in the box. 60 days is sweet. That shit ain't nothing. But you look at it, the 60 days was probably in his mind nothing. He was like, man, that shit ain't nothing. He done been back there probably several times for gunning. You know, that shit ain't nothing. It'll fly. You know, he's going to just go back there and try to get it all out of his system until he comes back on the compound. But he got the shit end of the stick because it was worse than just them 60 days. They knew, whether it was because it was the mom or whether it was because he's been back there several times for that, they were sick of it and fed up. They knew they needed to do what they needed to do to get him off the compound. Just like an inmate would try to get someone off the compound by wetting them up, airlifting them, putting them on that helicopter, getting their ass from around. The guards basically did the same thing, but they know they're able to cover their tracks. You know, they're able to make it like in paperwork, put that bitch down on paper to where they did what they needed to do and they made it seem like it was the right way to do what they did and they had no other choice. You see? But I'm telling you, all because that woman he did, you know, that you don't know who's who, you know what I'm saying? If he knew that was the mom, which the whole compound knew, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no secret, then he played. He was extra dumb. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame the dude that worked at confinement as far as the guard. The reason I don't blame him is because, me personally, I wouldn't want none of my female loved ones working in the chain gang. And the reason for that is because I know how it is. I know how they are. You know, I know the nicer you are when you're a woman, the more they're going to take advantage of it. The more an inmate is going to look at it like, uh-oh, I might have something here. Uh-oh, me and her might be clicking. Uh-oh, I'm going to just stick, I'm going to just knock her head off. You see what I'm saying? That's how they do it. You feel me? So it's like, if you got a loved one and you know they're nice, they're genuine, you know, and they're not mean, you know, they're just a regular person, and then never, you know, been aggressive, or if they're aggressive, they're a bitch all the time or whatever, they're gonna be turned on by that also. It don't matter if they're nice or if they're mean or if they're ugly or if they're good looking. It just means it's worse if they're nice and good looking, because they're gonna have double the amount of people trying to take advantage. You feel me? And you've had female officers in there screaming, saying that they were just, you know, raped and this and that, just because someone gunned them and was looking at them. When they start screaming, oh my God, put it away, they just keep going. You know what I'm saying? Like Tupac said, my mama told me never stop until I bust a nut. It's like that's what they think in their head, and they just keep stroking that shit even when they're screaming. You know, me personally, if a female ain't enjoying it and a female don't want this, then there ain't no reason for me to do it. I don't get off on, you know, taking it, or get off on, oh, you gon' keep screaming. You know, that shit's weird shit to me, you know? But some people in prison, they can't get over that. You know, they do what they must do. They just keep going, and it's like that's the energy and the build, and that's the drive that keeps them going to doing it. You know, like who can make her scream faster, or who can make her scream louder. You know, and then you make her scream and you feel like it's you pleasing her making her scream, but that ain't no good scream she's doing. And then you find your ass in confinement. Then after a while, they're going to add charge your ass. In the county jail down here, you catch too many of them gunning things, they're going to add charge you. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is when you're in prison, people aren't hiding the fact that they're gunners. It isn't like how out here on the streets, 9 times out of 10, probably 10 out of 10, people who are gunners in prison, they hide it. They're not going to come out and tell you frequently they was in there jacking and doing their thing. Because when you're a gunner, it's different from jacking off and then being a gunner. A gunner means you're doing it whether they want you to or not. When you're jacking off, that's when you're in your own little fucking world looking at porno books or straight stunt magazines or whatever it may be, or dime piece magazines and stuff. But in the chain gang, it ain't no secret about them being a gunner. You know, they think it's cool. You know, they'll go inside the school building and pull out on a teacher and shit. To me, I feel like that's like some type of shit to where, yes, you know, you're kind of close to a pedophile minds. You know, you're kind of close to some weirdo like that. You know, that's literally how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? Because the difference is, if she was telling you to do it and she was with it and she was fucking going like this and all that while you're doing it, then all right, then that shows you all playing mind games. You're mind fucking each other. But when it comes to just doing it and hoping she don't catch you, you know what I'm saying? You're doing it, sniping her, and you're hoping she ain't gonna catch you. She ain't gonna turn around and see you. And then when she turns around, you stop. And you just act like, you know, like it's nothing. So clearly, you know you shouldn't be doing it, and you know she don't want you to do it. You know she ain't with it. You understand? And you got some weirdos in the chain gang that literally will sit back to back, like fucking Bubba and Forrest Gump did, because they didn't want to sleep in the mud. Remember how they sat back to back and everything? You got people that will go back to back like that and both be over there just stroking that bit, looking at a female. And it be any type of female. It isn't like it's a dime piece. It isn't like she's a bad baby, like a fucking bitch from like a model. She ain't a baby. You know what I'm saying? She ain't bad looking Coca-Cola bottle shaped ass female. No, none of that. It be females that don't even look bad. You know, that's just what they do. And then clearly you're hiding it for a reason. You know you shouldn't be doing it. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think that shit is literally like up there with pedos. That's how I look at it, dog. That's my opinion, you feel me? And that dude who got whooped, got his ass stomped by the guards, you know, I'm a convict, you feel me? I'm going to side with inmates over guards all the time, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like they wasn't wrong doing what they did to him because, like I said, that was his mom. That was his mother that happened to. You see what I'm saying? And for anybody watching this video, if you was locked up, or if you, as a matter of fact, if you was locked up and you came across someone that gunned on your old girl, on your mom, your sister, your niece, your cousin, your auntie, you try to put their ass in a coma too, right? Or if you worked somewhere to where you had, you know, the ability and the ways to get a hold of someone who did that to one of your female loved ones, you would do the same thing. Would you or would you not? Let me know in the comment section, because I would. I try to stop the brakes off, but I try to put your fronts through your cheek, bro. I try to make it to where your ass walking around whistling for the rest of your life. You know, every time you talk, it sounds like you talking with a lisp. That's what I would try to do, you feel me? Because it's like shit, and I got a possible way to get away with it for the shit that you did. I can't feel bad because I'm doing to you what you deserve to be done. And then maybe me doing this to you will make it to where you don't do it to anybody else's loved ones. You feel me? And that's how it is. You know, it's real bad like that. It's real, it gets down real slimy and nasty in there. You feel me? People go ahead and fuck around and get their hands on that fucking hair grease and different stuff like that and Vaseline or whatever they need to use. Some people use, what's that shit? Margarine, the butter. People use butter, lotion, all that weird shit. People will gun shadows. They'll see a shadow in there and look under their door and see a shadow, some movement, and be looking down there like, you know, that shit there, boy, they need to put a stop to all that type of stuff. That's my opinion. And this is coming from someone who was in prison, you feel me? I'm just giving it to y'all raw, that real spill, you feel me? But anyways, y'all let me know what y'all think. You think he got what he deserved when it comes to them guards doing that? Let me know what you would do if it was your loved one that he ended up doing that to. You feel me? And let me know if you ever experienced or seen any mad gunners when you was locked up, or if you know any gunners on the streets to this day that think that shit's cool and they try to hide it, sweep it up under the rug and act like they really did it. You feel me? Weirdos. 100% weirdos. That's how I look at it. You feel me? But alright, y'all, I'm going to wrap this video on up. I appreciate y'all watching like I always said. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button on the way out if you didn't hit it when you first stopped in here. Share the channel. You know what I'm saying? Also, check me out on KFROG Gaming. I'll be over there streaming almost every single night. And that shit's a vibe. I've been getting a lot of subscribers from over here come over there lately in the chat. And they're like, man, I should have been jumped over here, boy. This vibe's where it's at, you feel me? That shit's fun, you know what I'm saying? It is. I chop it up. Only difference is I'm talking like this. The only difference is the background is the game. I'm in the game as I'm playing, but I'm still vibing and, you know, we having fun in that bit. We talk about everything over there, you feel me? But I appreciate y'all, like I always say. Y'all make sure y'all keep them rats, squares, clowns, chomos, pedos, gunners. Definitely them gunners, wannabe island boys, clout chaser, people with fake golds that rent rims in 2021, act like they dope boys stunting. Keep them clowns out your circle, man. Until next time, this is the one and only Frog.